1949, a year that marked a monumental shift in the history of China. It was a time of great upheaval and transformation, a period that would see the birth of a new nation under the leadership of a revolutionary figure. The dawn of a new era in China, a country that had been ravaged by years of internal strife and foreign invasions. The sun rose over a land filled with hope and uncertainty as the people of China looked forward to a future that promised change and renewal. The establishment of Maoist China was spearheaded by Mao Zedong, a charismatic and controversial leader whose vision for China would shape the nation's destiny for decades to come. Mao's rise to power was not just a political victory, it was a social and cultural revolution that sought to redefine the very fabric of Chinese society. As the leader of the Communist Party, Mao Zedong galvanized a movement that promised to liberate the masses from the shackles of feudalism and imperialism. The Communist Party, under Mao's leadership, aimed to create a classless society where the means of production were owned collectively by the people. On October 1st, 1949, Mao Zedong stood before a massive crowd in Tiananmen Square and proclaimed the founding of the People's Republic of China. This historic moment marked the end of centuries of dynastic rule and the beginning of a new chapter in Chinese history. This proclamation followed years of brutal civil war between the communists and the nationalists, led by Chiang Kai-shek. The conflict had torn the country apart, leaving millions dead and many more displaced. The victory of the communists was not just a military triumph, it was a testament to their ability to mobilize and inspire the masses. The communists' victory was fueled by peasant support and effective guerrilla tactics. Mao's strategy of mobilizing the rural population and using guerrilla warfare proved to be a decisive factor in the communist success. The peasants, who had long suffered under the oppressive rule of landlords and warlords, saw in Mao a leader who promised land and justice. With the defeat of the nationalists who retreated to Taiwan, Mao implemented sweeping changes that would transform the social and economic landscape of China. The end of the Civil War marked the beginning of a new era of reconstruction and reform. Land reforms redistributed land to millions of peasants, dramatically altering rural China. This policy aimed to break the power of the landlord class and empower the peasantry. However, the process was not without its challenges and controversies. The redistribution of land was often accompanied by violence and social upheaval, as old power structures were dismantled and new ones were established. Mao's policies also led to significant challenges. The radical changes he implemented were met with resistance from various quarters, including within the Communist Party itself. The push for rapid industrialization and collectivization created tensions and conflicts that would have far-reaching consequences. One of the most ambitious and controversial of Mao's policies was the Great Leap Forward, launched in 1958. This campaign aimed to rapidly industrialize the country and transform China into a socialist utopia. The Great Leap Forward was characterized by massive state-led efforts to increase agricultural and industrial production. The campaign sought to harness the collective power of the people to achieve unprecedented levels of production. Villages were organized into communes, and people were mobilized to work on large-scale infrastructure projects and communal farms. The goal was to leapfrog stages of development and catch up with the industrialized nations of the West. However, the Great Leap Forward led to economic disaster and a severe famine, causing millions of deaths. The policies of forced collectivization and unrealistic production targets resulted in widespread food shortages and suffering. The human cost of the Great Leap Forward was immense, and it remains one of the darkest chapters in modern Chinese history. In the 1960s, Mao launched the Cultural Revolution, a radical campaign aimed at solidifying his control and removing capitalist elements from Chinese society. The Cultural Revolution saw the rise of the Red Guards, militant youth groups who were encouraged to challenge authority and root out perceived enemies of the revolution. The campaign led to widespread chaos and persecution as intellectuals, officials, and ordinary citizens were targeted in the name of ideological purity. Despite the turmoil and suffering caused by these radical policies, Maoist China laid the foundation for the modern Chinese state. The period from 1949 to 1976 was marked by profound social and economic changes that would shape the future trajectory of the nation. The legacy of Maoist China is complex and multifaceted, encompassing both achievements and failures. Understanding this period is crucial to grasp China's contemporary rise. The policies and events of Maoist China have left an indelible mark on the nation's history and continue to influence its development. The rise of contemporary China cannot be fully understood without considering the impact of Mao's leadership and the revolutionary changes that took place during this transformative era. Subscribe for more historical insights and join us as we explore the fascinating and complex history of nations around the world. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to bringing you more engaging content in the future.